Hey there, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ellaine, also known as Nurse Who Invests. And if you are a nurse who wants to achieve financial freedom, but you're stuck, you don't know where to start, this video is for you. I want to let you know that financial freedom, getting there is actually very simple, and I'm going to tell you how. So like what I had mentioned earlier, it's pretty simple to achieve financial freedom. And I think that if you have gone through the videos on YouTube, search it on Google, they will give you simple steps, and it really is that simple. But if you are a full-time nurse like me, then I will tell you what has worked for me and what has been working for me to achieve financial freedom. First of all, let us define financial freedom, because I think a lot of people have this wrong impression or wrong definition of financial freedom. And for some, it may be having a lot of money in their investment, having a lot of, cash, retiring early. But the truth is, especially for me as well, is that financial freedom really means having the choice, having options. And I think that having that ability to work because you want to and not because you have to or you need to is really what financial freedom means. You could have a specific amount of money in your investments and still feel financially free. And in that case, that is where I'm at right now. And I actually just read a book recently that has really helped me change my mindset about abundance and about wanting things versus needing it. This book is called 10x is easier than 2x, and lately I have been into business books and entrepreneurial, mindset books, because I'm in that journey of building a 6-figure, 7-figure business. And so I think the very first thing that we have to work on is our mindset. And so in this book, it talks about the idea of actually wanting things versus needing it, and how in life, in order to really expand to what we can truly achieve and what is really meant for us, we have to stop just doing things just because we need to, but because we want to. So it really shifts your focus in abundance versus scarcity mindset. And I think that with financial freedom and being able to have that option or that choice, like working as a nurse because you need to versus you want to, makes a big difference in how you approach your career, your life, and everything in general. For me, financial freedom is doing things because you want to, not because you need to, and having that option or that choice to be able to do what you want to do in life. And so financial freedom is about building a life that you feel that you're secure, empowered, and really have the ability to focus on what matters to you without the worry of your finances or your bills or your expenses being paid for with money. And so as nurses, we dedicate so much of our lives to helping others. I know for sure that nursing is one of those careers where you work long hour shifts, and even though you only work 3 or 4 days, it's one of those things that is very emotionally draining, physically draining, and mentally draining. It's also one of the highest burnout profession because we take care of sick people. And so if you could have the option to step back, take a break from work, even go part-time or per diem, I think that is kind of ideal for somebody who loves working as a nurse to begin with. And in my case, that was my reason. I actually love the work that I do as a nurse practitioner. I love making a difference in my patients' lives, but at the same time, I don't want to be tied to my employer or to my work just because I need to survive financially. And so I think that being able to choose what you want to do as far as working as a nurse and being able to have that option really is why nurses should really have that goal of having financial freedom. It also, I think, it allows you to become a better nurse, a happier nurse. And I think a lot of nurses who are not happy with their jobs, who are on the verge of burnout, while a lot of it has to do with a systemic and employer policy related burnout, being financially free alleviates that pressure of working in healthcare. I always say nurses with stable finances are happier nurses, and that is so true with everyone that I knew who is working as a nurse and working because they absolutely need it to survive. And so there are a lot of myths when it comes to financial freedom that I want to kind of talk about today, and also give you guys the steps that I am taking or have taken to achieve financial freedom and be where I'm at right now. So the number one myth that I want to talk about is the myth that financial freedom or retiring early means quitting your job altogether, living by the beach, or like going somewhere, traveling somewhere, and not having to work a single day in your life. I think as human beings, we are wired to have that sense of fulfillment in our lives, and sometimes that could come from our work and our careers, that sometimes we really identify ourselves as that. But I think financial freedom is really less about escaping work, but more about empowering yourself to have that option, which I had mentioned earlier. And I think it kind of goes it all goes back to that one specific theme where you need to have options to be happier. And so I think that when I tell people that I want to retire early, even like when I tell my mom that I want to retire early, the initial thing that a lot of people tell me is that, oh, so you don't want to work anymore. Oh, so you want to be lazy. Oh, so you want to just go in the beach and travel and, just relax all your life. That is not the case. Retiring early for me means having to work flexible and work optional and be able to do everything else that I want to do outside of nursing. And so that means that I'm able to create, I'm able to make these videos, I'm able to run my business on the side, and most importantly, be able to spend more time with my kids. So speaking of that, let's talk about the steps to get to financial freedom, because the number one thing that you have to do is to acknowledge the fact that that is your ultimate goal. Setting clear goals means that you're becoming very intentional with the things that you're doing and how you handle your money. And so if your goal is financial freedom or having that option, then it will make you think twice if you're gonna have to buy a new car or move to a different city or take on a higher paying job or stay at your job. So I think having that big North Star when it comes to your life and your finances is really, really important, because it will guide you in how you make decisions around these topics. So if you have that goal and you set that goal, the second thing that you need to do is work on your money mindset. What is money mindset? So money mindset is a prevailing attitude about finances and how you make, spend, and save your money. And it's a set of beliefs and behaviors that shape your financial habits and outcomes and are very unique to you. And this is something that a lot of people really skip on. And although it's not one of those things that you can change overnight, I think that being able to really uncover the things that affect how you value money or how you even spend money is so important. Because for me, I grew up in the Philippines and I came from a third world country. I have seen the disproportionate income between the poor and the rich people. And so growing up, I've always thought that rich people are evil and that money is evil. But the truth is, money is a tool and money is neutral and is something that you can use to do good in the world. And this is, I think, what has really motivated me to make more money and to also use the money that I earn to help other people. Because wouldn't it be nice to have more good people have more money, right? So I think that working on your mindset and like really uncovering those money stories and money traumas that you have in your life could also be one of the first steps that you have to do in order to achieve financial freedom. Because that way you can see why you view money a certain way, and that way you can have a better relationship with money. And so that's the number two thing that I would do and I have done. I've been working on my money mindset, and like I said, this is not something that is going to change overnight. Like, this is something that you have to work through every single time, every single day, and acknowledging it and also being aware that it is there, that the problem is there, is one of the first steps when it comes to working and improving your money mindset. Number 3 is having a cash flow. It's so important to have a cash flow if you want to be financially free, which means that you have some way or some sort of income coming in order to pay your expenses and also have money to invest. So with that said, if you're a nurse, having that full-time job right now while you are in your earlier stages of financial freedom journey is very, very essential. Having that steady amount of income while you are working on making more money work for you is so important. So with that said, if you have that steady cash flow of income, like having your full-time job, it's also very important to be very aware of where your money goes, tracking your income and expenses. And I have shared in my previous videos what trackers I use. These are the things that I use. You can also watch my video on how I budget my money as a nurse practitioner in this video. And that way you know what goes in, what goes out, and you're aware of your finances. Number 4 is paying off debt and having an emergency fund. So having an emergency fund just means having that, what they call the FU money. And it's having the financial cushion if anything happens, if ever an emergency happens, you have cash sitting around waiting for you to use it, and for you not to take on more debt if not needed. So having an emergency fund, for me, I set out at least 6 months of expenses worth of emergency fund, and I put it in a high yield savings account. These are the high yield savings account that I use, and I have the links for them below in the description if you want to open one. But essentially a high yield savings account is just kind of like a savings account, but it gives a higher than traditional bank interest for you just leaving your money in there to save. And so right now, I think the average interest rates for high yield savings account is around 4%. And if you are going to be needing this money, aka for an emergency that you may anticipate in the next coming months, it's better to put it in a place like a high yield savings account, because it's easily accessible, it's fairly liquid, and your money's still gaining interest versus just leaving it in a traditional bank where it's not doing anything and just losing value because of inflation. Paying off debt and really prioritizing credit card debt. So the reason why this is so important, because debt is what you owe. It's money that you owe, and it's really, really important to really take care of that, because that can really set you back when it comes to your financial freedom journey. I always say that if you have credit card debt, that is something that you have to prioritize because of the interest rates in credit cards right now. According to Forbes Advisor Weekly Credit Card Rates Report, the average credit card interest rate is 28.75%. And that is a lot of money that you're putting in the drain whenever you pay the minimum in your credit card every month. So it's like interest on top of interest, and you're never going to be able to pay that off if you have not prioritized paying off your credit card. It's really important that you pay off that big, high credit card debt. Now, with that said, when it comes to paying off your debt versus if you should invest, this is what have worked for me. If my interest rate is above 7%, I prioritize investing it versus paying it off. Although I would still pay it off every month, so it does not accrue that much interest. But if my debt is below 7%, then I would be more comfortable investing and just paying off the minimum for this debt. And that is the case for my student loan debt. So my student loan debt used to have 3.99 interest rate, and I had just paid the minimum for it for a year or so before I finally paid it off. And I invested the difference. I just invested the extra money that I had, and that has helped me build wealth right now. Being able to to invest really is important. With that said, it leads to the next step, which is investing your money. And investing is one of my favorite things. And I think it's so essential to invest your money, because you cannot achieve financial freedom. You could do every other step in this process, like the ones that I had mentioned. But if you are not investing your money, you are not going to get to financial freedom. This is a must. It's almost a non-negotiable, and this is why I named myself Nurse to Invest, because I love everything about investing. Because when we talk about investing, you are making your money work for you. You are putting your money in a place that you anticipate will grow in value over time. And there's nothing better than knowing that your money is working for you while you're working your full-time nursing job. So if you're working full-time right now and you have your 401k, 403b, or any employer-sponsored retirement accounts, you are already investing. Now, I think that you need to take advantage of those retirement accounts, not only because it's a good way to save for your future and have that retirement plan in place, but at the same time, you are making use of the tax advantages of that account. And so for retirement accounts like what I had just mentioned, your money is tax, or your investments are tax deferred, meaning that it lowers down your taxable income now, but you will pay for the taxes later on. So if you have this employer-sponsored retirement accounts in your full-time jobs right now, then you should take advantage of it. Another thing is that if your employer does the employer matching, which means that they're going to take a portion of your retirement and they will give you a specific amount for that contribution that you made, aka, matching it, then take advantage of it, because it's literally free money on the table. And if you want to invest beyond your 401k, there are other investment options that you can have, like opening a Roth IRA or other individual brokerage accounts. I love stock market investments as a form of passive income for nurses. You can watch the video over here and why I prefer to do this over real estate or starting a business and all that stuff if you are working full-time as a nurse. The next step is working full-time and gradually building your other sources of income. So the crazy thing with investing is that the more money you invest and the earlier you invest it, the better, because of compound interest. And so if you are working your full-time job, I think that if you're able to utilize making more money in that full-time job, like taking differential shifts, working overtime, finding a different job, or getting a certification, pay and all that stuff, then that is something that you can do. And also, so this is where investing in other assets can come in, including investing in real estate, investing in other businesses, or starting your full-time business to create more income for yourself. Now, the goal with creating more income is to not necessarily work more, although in the first stages of your investment, especially if you're investing in a business or in real estate, is that you're going to putting in some hours. But essentially, the whole goal is to make more passive income and more income so that you can invest it and make it work for you even further. Now, once you have set everything up, then you have achieved financial freedom, because this is the time when you can slow down and do the things that you want and have more options in life. I am a big proponent, or a big advocate for working less hours and making more money work for you. And so I think that once you have established all these things like working for you in the background, then you can slow down and do the things that you actually love doing. And so I am actually at this stage in my financial freedom journey now. The idea of working part-time and per diem is definitely something that I can do in the next year already, especially because my kids are going to school. They're starting school next year. And so that option or having that choice to be able to go full-time versus part-time is what I can consider, financial freedom. So I have actually seen a lot of nurses who have achieved this sense of financial freedoms in their lives. There is a nurse who has quit her full-time job. She started her own coaching business. She helps nurses find traditional jobs and, craft their careers in a way that works for their lives. And so it's really inspiring to see her. Her name's actually Whole Life Nurse. She's one of my inspirations. I have seen some nurses who actually volunteered abroad and not working full-time anymore and just doing per diem shifts because they're able to do it because they're financially free. And so there are a lot of, ways that you can make this thing work for you and your lifestyle. And I think that a life lived based on what you want and also what works for your lifestyle is the best kind of life, whether that includes having millions of dollars in your bank account or not. And so I think like the common theme for all of these things, especially when it comes to talking about financial freedom, is having that choice as a nurse to work because you want to and not because you necessarily have to. And so I think that that is so powerful, and it gives you that sense of fulfillment to design the life that you truly want for yourself. And this is what I want you to have. That's why I teach about financial freedom. And so here are some practical steps that you can do right now, because I know this is a really long video. I can yap about this, like honestly, like forever and ever. But here are some things that you can do right now in order for you to just get started. And some practical steps is that number one, track your spending. Download those apps. And I cannot stress this enough. Like I had mentioned it earlier in this video, I'm going to mention it again now. Download those apps, track how much money is going in and how much money is going out. Number two, learn about investing. Again, I have that free class. You can sign up in the link below. It'll only take an hour of your life to invest in education and learn how you can get started and making your money work for you. So number three is automate your savings. Like there's nothing more profound that I have done in my life financially than automating my savings. And that's really saying a lot, because I am very busy with my job, with my business, with being a mom, that I cannot, that's another decision fatigue that you have to go through. But if you're automating your investments and your savings, that will set you up for success and really help you be on track in your financial freedom journey. And number four is surround yourself with people who are in the same goals and journey as you. I think that being able to surround myself with nurses who loves to talk about money and also about investing, making themselves, grow and develop financially and also emotionally and mentally is such a big change that I did in my life and has helped me tremendously. So surround yourself with like-minded people. And with that, I do have a community for nurses as well if you want to join. But yeah, so there it is. That is financial freedom in a nutshell. It's very simple. You really have to just go through the steps of getting there. The only thing is that I didn't say that it's going to go by fast. I did not say that it's going to be super easy. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some sacrifices. That includes living below your means and really, really being intentional with how you spend your money. So it's not something that is complex or overcomplicated, because anyone who makes it that way are for sure just, scamming you or whatever. But honestly, it is simple. Follow the steps right here and you'll be on your way. And for me, I was able to do it in less than 5 years. So if you're ready to take control of your finances, create the life you truly want, then you have to really start today. And so if you want more tips, resources, or a community of like-minded nurses, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm going to be posting more videos on how I can help you achieve financial freedom in your life. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Stay hydrated, stay invested, and I hope to see you in the next video. Remember that financial freedom is possible for you. Bye.